A judge confirms that Lil Peep's management must face a wrongful death trial. This is in Fader magazine. So the lawsuit, we talked about this lawsuit, this is maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago or so, that his mom filed, saying that they blamed his death on his management, which we went a bit in detail a few years ago about it. It was first filed in 2019, so 3 years ago, because he died in late 2017, overdosing on multitudes of drugs and stuff. And right as he released one of his albums and stuff, pretty tragic death. But that's common nowadays with SoundCloud rappers, as we have seen time and time again, with people overdosing and not getting the help that they so deservedly need. But with that so the judge ruled that the wrongful death case against First Access Entertainment, which is his management, will move forward. So the trial is now set for March of 2023 because the American judicial system takes it gets stuck in the Suez Canal and takes a long time to get shipping done. But I think this is actually, it's good for that because, as we always say on here, management has a responsibility of their artists and everything else to look out for them, right? Except the Kanyes of the world, the Elon Musks of the world. They surround themselves with the yes men and stuff because those people at the end of the day only care about a paycheck and, the notoriety they get from working with said person, but they're not helping them that they actually do need help. Kanye always needs help, right? A lot of these artists are addicted to all these substances and stuff, and they see the substance abuse and they don't do anything about it, or they do things too late, or they just brush it under the rug to try and hide it and all this other stuff, which has happened time and time again.
Or they'll encourage it too, which is like an aspect of it where like, we look at Lil Peep or Juice WRLD, and a lot of their appeal is their depression and how they're rapping about all the drugs and the stuff they're doing. So hey, if they're depressed and they want these drugs, if you want to keep this cash cow going, maybe the manager like gets these drugs. I'm not saying I have this knowledge about it, and specifically this Lil Peep case, but this is what management often does. Like to what Sean's point is what he was saying, they will not do a good job. They'll not do their due diligence of defending the artist and making sure they stay out of trouble and can like be healthy. But sometimes they are also worse than that. They're even enablers of that bad behavior.
Yeah. So basically, he died on his tour bus. I remember that. He died on his tour bus in late 2017. But reading over here, it says that his mom claims that he was given drugs by Mercer, which is one of the managers, via unsealed text messages, and that the management group FAE oversaw a culture of drug-infected mismanagement that ultimately led to Lil Peep's death. And yeah, as Dan said, you have people, in different management, and we've heard this happen time and time again in the music industry, where they'll purposely go out, get drugs for artists and this or that, because I like to make the comparison to like a meat factory, right, where you try to fatten up the pig. You try to, get it up to be able to get as much meat on the table to make it as profitable as it is. The fillers. That happens a lot in the music industry where they do that, right? It's like people in finance who are on all sorts of drugs to keep their fingers typing and stuff as quickly as can. A lot of people do that for artists as well. That's happened a lot in the 70s, 80s, 90s, all throughout now, to just try and keep them to perform. Be like, oh, you need this drug. You need these amphetamines to stay up and stay active. You need pot to mellow you down. You need these uppers and downers 24/7 just to keep going and keep the cash flow going, keep the tour going, to keep these records, be able to have the creativity going all the time. And it takes its toll on people all the time. I mean, a good representation of this actually is the Beatles documentary that was released on Disney Plus, to see just what happens when artists, some of the best artists with the Beatles, how they get when they're worn out and they're done. Like, they just, at the end of the day, artists are humans too, and we all have a limit where you just can't, we can't do as much as we need to do. And that's where management has to kick and be like, hey, you need a rest. Like, it is my job to oversee your safety. You need a rest. So yeah, it's very, very interesting. And I'm actually glad that the judge ruled that way, because it should set a precedent on other managements.